Brock Purdy has struggled in the rain sometimes. How do you feel about Brock Purdy versus Jordan Love? I've heard some Jordan Love is more talented. Brock Purdy has better statistics over the last 10 games. I was just reading this. Brock Purdy's completion percentage is 70%. He averages 288.5 yards per game. He has 21 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Like 4 of those are from one game, though, so that kind of skews that, I feel like. Not that you can take out of a game, but I just feel like it makes it seem like maybe he's throwing one every game. He just had like one really terrible game.
Yeah, right.
And then 113.7 QB rating. In comparison, Jordan Love, kind of interesting, a little bit lower completion percentage, 68.5 completion percentage, averaging a little bit less yards, 207.1 yards, but then 2 more touchdowns, 23 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions, which is really good. Now, if you take out, and I don't know if it's fair to do this, but if you take out 10 before, that's still 6. So way better on the touchdowns. But similar QB rating. How is that possible? Why does he have a similar QB rating if he's thrown so many more
If you
touchdowns?
asked me how quarterback rating and passer rating are formulated, how that's calculated, I couldn't tell you, honestly. But I do post when it fits my narrative.
Lower quarterback rating, and he has more touchdowns and less interceptions. I don't understand how these things work.
I don't know how that's I don't know how it's
just based off. Because I'm gonna ask you a couple of different things. So we're gonna start just based off of talent. Who do you think is better, Jordan Love or Brock Purdy?
I mean, off of talent alone, Jordan Love, I think, there's a reason that he went where he did in the draft compared to where Brock was taken in the draft. Like, I think the arm talent that Jordan Love has is, it's better than Brock Purdy, and that's no slight on Brock Purdy. I don't want people to take it that way because some people, you can't compliment other players without it being like a knock on someone else. Yeah, that's just the truth, and he knows it too. The throws that he makes and that he attempts is he knows he has the arm strength to do it. There's a lot of times he's throwing off his back foot, like he's throwing off platform, like he's not even really set, like he's throwing jumpers out there.
About, like,
it's crazy.
The Kyle Shanahan versus LaFleur thing. That is like a difference, right? Like I feel like a lot of Kyle Shanahan's really impressive plays, or like a lot of the 49ers really impressive plays. Some of them are like Brock Purdy making something out of nothing. Like we definitely have to give him credit. He is a playmaker. But when even watching that Dallas game, like some of the best throws and plays in that game were just like Jordan Love being like, screw it. Like I believe in my, like completely like turned around, like a throw that you're like, what are you doing? And it's beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Jordan Love definitely has like the better arm talent. I think as far as their poise goes, they're similar players. They don't seem to get rattled by pressure. I think they have a lot of confidence in their abilities to like escape the pocket and keep their eyes upfield and get the ball out. So that's one way they're pretty similar in that way. And yeah, I mean, I think Brock Purdy's a smart player. I think that's part of the reason that he's been as good as we've seen him and he's improving. And I'm not saying Jordan Love isn't smart. I'm just saying, like, for what I've seen of Brock, I think he's the way he understands defenses and can manipulate. I haven't seen enough of Jordan Love to like, know. But I think he's probably smart at that stuff too.
Jordan Love has like a lot of, like, we're not saying he doesn't have these other things, but just off of like that Dallas game,
I always feel like I have to reiterate, like I'm not saying like you gotta like.
He does have a lot of like physical attributes where, because Brock Purdy might be more limited in that area, he is impressive when it comes to the mental aspect of the game. Like when we're complimenting Brock Purdy, some of his best talents. I mean, he is definitely more mobile than we probably thought in the draft. Like, so people need to give him credit for that escapability, mobility. his decision making, his accuracy, his ability to optimize kind of the offense that he's in, knowing the scheme kind of between the eyes is definitely seems to be Brock Purdy's most valuable asset. Kind of cool, like two quarterbacks, both very, young in their playing careers in the playoffs, and both taking, maybe proving some doubters wrong. Obviously, Jordan Love drafted in the first round because of his talent, but it did seem like the longer he sat on the bench, the more doubt people might have had. KJ says Jordan Love has talent, but Brock Purdy has character. He's a silent assassin, as Christian McCaffrey has. I mean, I haven't watched enough of the Packers, but I do think that, both teams probably have a lot of character. But I think that when it comes to the 49ers, not just Brock Purdy, but the team as a whole has like an extra edge to them just based on experience. If you remember, I think it was not this year, not last year, but 2 years ago when the Warriors, they went against, was it the Celtics? And the Celtics were the younger, more feisty team that did, kind of outperform their expectations. And what Draymond Green was always saying, and I know he's controversial, but he was always saying in his press conferences was like, the playoff experience is what sets us apart and takes us, like, we know how to play when we're in these moments, and that's going to give us the extra edge. And that was the year that they won. I know they've won a lot, but it was the most recent year that they won. And I do think that there is something to that. Wanted to read this. Sherman had a good tweet, I believe, talking about after the Packers team, how the offseason discussion would be about these young QBs like Brock, Love, Stroud are going to be interesting. I really agree. If you were like building a new team, like a brand new team, this is just a thought experiment, and you had to choose one of these young quarterbacks, who would you choose? I know who I would choose.
I would choose Stroud.
Me too. He was so impressive in that game.
He's the total package as far as
Ryan,
go.
former 49ers coach, like out there making us look good. I felt like proud of them when I was watching the game. I was like, go them.
Yeah, their defense reminded me of the Niners, like when D'Amico was the defensive coordinator. They were flying to the ball, they were super aggressive, super confident. I loved it. I'm rooting for them on the AFC side for sure. They have a tough draw next week against the Ravens, so definitely going to be rooting for the Texans in that one.
That would be such a cool upset. Like, and the 49ers would be like, thank you. Like, they would not mind not having to face the Ravens again. I like that. They did really remind me of the 49ers. Well, because there was a lot of 49ers on that team. Like, you're like, oh, that's like us in a different parallel universe. I see it. And I feel like, and maybe this, who knows if this is we don't have to go far into this, but like, CJ Stroud is everything that they hoped Trey Lance would be. Is that okay to say? Right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why we have to bring everything back to Trey Lance, and I'm not talking about just you. Like, it's just like I've seen people say this. It's like, dude, like, can we just stop talking about him? Like, I'm sorry, respectfully. Like, I'm just like so over the conversation. Like, who cares, man? Okay, he's not on this team anymore.
A couple picks in, just a couple interceptions in, just for chaos, not for like. I would never have actually done this, and I don't even think he was activated. But if I was like a coach on the Cowboys, I would never have actually done this. But as a fan, for chaos, I was like, give me Trey in that Cowboys game.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Like, that did bring them back. But we have like I think we have a Packers fan. 49ers ain't doing shit. I don't think definitely don't think that's